More on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
Many people struggle with the frustration of excess belly fat, symptoms of diabetes.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed, support causes that matter, change lives, change communities, change the world. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
Central Hudson reminds you that summer thunderstorms can strike with strong, gusty winds, knocking down trees and power lines. If you see a downed power line, call 911 immediately to report it. Power lines can carry an electric current strong enough to cause injury or death. Stay at least 30 feet away from a fallen line. Don't try to move it or anything that has come in contact with it. And never drive over a power line. Remember, your safety matters.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
And good morning. This is Lorraine Salmon and
Fran Savoca.
And we are so happy to be with you this morning. We'll be on from 7 till 9, and we have some special guests for you today.
Yes, let's see. Well, they'll be hearing a lot about the SUNY Ulster Foundation Gala from 7 to 7:30, correct, Lorraine? And at 7:30, we will be hearing from Gretchen Reed from Mohank Preserve, which I'm excited about. They've been extremely busy, especially I feel like driving here, even though it was almost dark, that I feel like the leaves held on during the wind and the rain, and we're going to squeak out another weekend of peak fall foliage. That's my opinion.
That's perfect. And then we'll talk to you more about tourism about that.
Yes. And then from 8 to 8:30, we have Mark Cozzupoli. He is the Director of Veteran Services for the county. And at 8:30, I'm hoping to hear from Deb at the Best Western Plus, and to hear all about how they've transitioned through COVID and being open and starting up with small events and what's happening there in the accommodations in our world.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to hear about that.
Yes. So how was the virtual foundation gala?
The morning after, kudos to everyone who is throwing a virtual anything, right? I think everybody's done a really great job about that, and I feel really proud of our gala. We didn't know how exactly we were going to make that happen and make all the feelings happen that you want. You know, when you're doing a year in review and you're honoring people, some for a once in a lifetime honoring. But if anybody is interested, you can go to www.sunyulster.edu/gala. And there are links to everything. There's a link to our program with all of our sponsors and all of our honorees. And there's a link to the video. And the video is a series of videos that are kind of emceed by President Al Roberts and by me.
Nice.
And so that went off last night at 5:30. It was done by 6:30. Oh. And we're just getting great feedback, and the donations are pouring in and have been for about 2 months, getting ready for it.
Good.
So we're thrilled.
That's great. Yeah. Congratulations on a successful event.
Thanks so much.
Could not have been easy.
I know we honored some great local people. So we honored Kathleen Clunan was one of our honorees. So there's a great video about Kathleen. So alerting all friends of Kathleen Clunan to go to our website, sunyulster.edu/gala. And We honored Mary Stuart Masterson and her husband Jeremy Davidson for all of their work in the Hudson Valley and specifically in Ulster County. Their video is really adorable, and they have a message for everybody. So you can click on our whole gala and watch it through, or you can go below the gala and click on the individual videos if you have a particular interest in that. And then we honored Dr. Mindy Cole for her work at the college, and these last 2 years, more specifically in the New Start for Women program, and also all of her work on the entrepreneur programs at SUNY Ulster. And we hashtag Be Like Anita for Anita Williams, and that award went to Laurel and Tim Sweeney.
Nice.
Yeah. And so it was super event.
Good. I didn't get a chance last night. I had a travel writer here. I didn't get a chance to watch it live as you were doing it. So I do look forward to looking to see how it went and seeing the honorees. They're so deserving of the honors they received. So
They really are. I know most, if not all, nonprofits owe their very existence to, to everyone. But then there's always, every year, every term of years, there's a group of individuals who it's just their time to step up and that they want to give back and do all of those things that make a difference. So
right.
That was just great. How about tourism?
Tourism is good. Obviously the numbers are down through the region, but we're busy, and we are fortunate to have a huge drive market, and we're a four season, truly. We were on a call yesterday, and a little bit of everybody from accommodations to recreation, and everybody's done the best they could and successfully opened to what capacity they could, and keeping things open, like having just the Ashokan Rail Trail. Kevin Smith was saying how you have to keep your mask on. They and the ambassadors that they have on the trail remind people, and they're like, oh, no problem, because we need this to stay open. And they realize the value behind it. They're like, we come every day, and we really need this to stay open. And they've just had thousands of people on the Ashokan Rail Trail.
So on the rail trail, you need to leave your mask on the whole time you're on it, even if you can't see anybody?
If you can't see anybody, it's, if there's nobody around. Most days there will be people around, and you will be, as you're passing, it is recommended that the masks are on when you are passing other people on the walk, on the trail.
That makes total sense. I will throw myself under the bus on this in case anybody else has done this, but has anybody else walked in somewhere with their mask in their pocketbook or in their back pocket and not realized they've done it?
Yeah, a lot of people have. Or I get halfway across the parking lot to go into a store, and I'm like, oh, but I catch myself. So I haven't gone in yet.
Oh, I am the one. If somebody is talking about the lady in Adams who went all the way back to the deli department before. Oh, I'm saying hi to people, nodding, hello. No, absolutely zero idea that my mask isn't on. So I'm just saying, obviously, didn't do it intentionally.
And you've been working remotely, so I think that makes a difference for you. I've been since June down at the Visitor Center at 20 Broadway. We've been back in the office, not working remotely. So I'm finding the opposite. I get home and I go to get out of the car, and my instinct is to put my mask on.
Oh, okay.
And I'm home. I'm like, I'm grabbing for my mask as I'm walking.
Autopilot.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm looking at people with masks, and I'm like, isn't this amazing that we're all still wearing masks?
Meanwhile.
So I just wanted to tell anybody who's done that, give yourself a get out of jail free
Did somebody
card.
finally say?
No, and that's what I guess I wanted to say, if you see somebody, maybe don't assume. I can't imagine how many people I agitated that day.
And it wasn't even like you had it around your neck and not up. You didn't even have.
No, not on, just not on. It was probably in my back pocket or just sitting there in my purse. So anyway, I realized and I put it on. I hope you don't get arrested for that, because my picture is probably somewhere on the the video.
Yeah, on the bad list.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
The non-mask wearing list. But yeah, no, thank you to everybody in our community for continuing to wear your mask.
That's
and
right.
Keep your
It's
hands
super
washed. And
I think if you see somebody, just don't forget, think about me. You could just say, "Did you know your mask isn't on?"
I know.
Instead of being really angry at them. I
yeah,
think it can happen.
yeah,
Well, I know it happened to me.
I know. I am reluctant to remind anybody to pull it up because I do think sometimes the look in their face is that they think they have it on, but I've been reluctant, afraid of the how it will be
Backlash.
received. Yes. I haven't corrected anybody yet on it, but I probably, if you didn't even have it around you, I probably
Right, because that looks. I know, but you're not. I mean, you're not allowed. Period. Like there's a sign on the door. So, anyhow, okay. So that's my little blip
Yeah.
that I made. I want to send another shout out. Our other awardees for the gala were Jennifer and Peter Buffett, co-presidents of the Novo Foundation. And I think there's a lot of people in Ulster County who are familiar with their vast investments in our community. Over $10 million has been invested in Ulster County through the Novo Foundation. And one of those programs is the New Start for Women at SUNY Ulster, which Dr. Mindy Cole took great part in. And so we're just fortunate to have them in our community. So there's a great video about them as well. So if you're curious about them and Novo, the video is fabulous. Check them out at www.sunyulster.edu/gala.
So, last night I had the pleasure of, I had not been on the new to us, the Rip Van Winkle 2 from Hudson River Cruises. Have you been
Okay.
on their new?
I have
This is their
not.
first season. So last year when they were switching the boat over, so everybody was used to the Rip Van Winkle. Now they have the Rip Van Winkle 2. It goes out of, East Strand down at the Rondout. And the whole season, because obviously we didn't expect a pandemic, I haven't even been on the boat yet. So last night we had a travel writer here. She usually travels all over the world. That hasn't been happening, obviously. And she's just from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And so she's been here. I have to say, Saugerties has hosted her all week and done an amazing job. She had a fabulous trip. I mean, all the highlights,
How wonderful.
Diamond Mills, Opus 40. They had dinner at Miss Lucy's last night, so I have to find out how that was. But we did the sunset cruise on the Rip Van Winkle 2, and it was awesome. It's a great new boat. So the fall foliage trips are still going. So if you haven't been on Hudson River Cruises yet, please do it before the season ends or you'll really be missing out. And I think they end at the end of the month, the end of October.
Okay. And
So-
it's a wear your face mask, but you're outside
Wear your
on the
face
boat.
mask, and you are outside. We stayed on the upper level the entire time. So while we were sitting, we noticed, people sat in like small groups. And so we didn't have our masks on while we were outside sitting. But then it was kind of like being at a restaurant. If you got up and walked around, then you put your mask on. So, yeah,
Perfect.
it was fabulous.
And
Yeah,
then
because
we-
walking on, my husband said, "Oh, I didn't realize we're going to have this on for the next 2 hours." And I said, "Oh, we'll see how it goes." So, yeah, if you were sitting and not sitting near other people you didn't know, weren't in your party, then you could kind of take it down.
Yeah, and the leaves are always beautiful this time. Even when we're having a quote, it's kind of like there is no such thing as a bad day of golf, I've heard.
Yeah.
I'm not an avid golfer, but I've heard that. But there's no such thing as a bad leaf
No,
day.
not a
in-
bad day of foliage.
in the
Yeah.
Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they get dry and not quite as bright. But I was coming across the bridge the other day from my parents over in Rhinebeck, straight across towards Ulster County. And it's true that it is breathtaking here. The backdrop of the mountains and the leaves changing. And it's when I try to calm myself when I'm crossing. I should just drive back and forth across the bridge
Just to calm yourself.
for an hour or two just to finish calming myself.
It's beautiful both ways. It really is. I love. My sister lives in Red Hook, so I'm back and forth across the bridge a few times, and it's just gorgeous. But I have to say, coming towards the Catskill Mountains with the Catskill Mountain backdrop is gorgeous.
So tell me if this is true. I heard something. I have no
boy.
idea if you'll know. And this is not rehearsed. We didn't talk before the show. I heard that J.K. Rowling
Oh.
was here on a boat.
Absolutely. If you go to the Ulster County Tourism Facebook page or our Instagram, just Ulster County Tourism, Google it in Instagram, or, just do a search for us. You can see a picture of J.K. Rowling's boat. And whoever was on it, because we don't know if it was her, it's a beautiful boat, and you have to Google it to look at the interior.
Oh, great.
And they must have had such a good time that they came back, because we purposely didn't post while the boat was here.
Oh, sweet.
And our posts are scheduled, our social media posts for Ulster County Tourism. So, wouldn't you know, the day our posts came out, the boat was still back down at the Rondout. So, yeah, it was parked right out by Mariners Harbor, downtown, and a very unique boat. To my knowledge, there were no sightings of J.K. Rowling, but the boat was very interesting. I have no idea who was visiting, but yeah, came back, so they must have had a great time the first time. And the story is that the boat's for sale, and the story is that the previous owner, she bought it from, I'm blanking on his name, Edward Scissorhand.
Oh,
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
Yes. She bought the boat from Johnny Depp. It was originally
Really?
his. And apparently the boat is for sale. So, yeah.
Well, if there's another sighting, I would like everybody to call or notify me, Lorraine Salmon, because my granddaughters, Drew, Grace, and Charlotte, are avid readers of J.K. Rowling, and I told them that her boat was here.
Oh.
They were
well,
so excited.
They should
They
go to
just
the
wanted to
social
see the
media
boat.
to check out the picture. We have pictures of the boat. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's very unique, very nice. Yeah, you never know who we have visiting.
What are we doing for time? We're at
And-
7:17.
Yes, so you're listening to Fran DiPetrolo-Savoca from Ulster County Tourism.
And Lorraine Salmon from SUNY Ulster, from the foundation at SUNY Ulster, and local author. And we are happy to be here with you.
Yes. And we're looking forward to 7:30. We have Gretchen Reed calling in from Mohank Preserve.
Oh, that's going to be so exciting.
All of our trails and our U-Pick farms and farm stands and craft beverage trails have been so busy.
Isn't that wonderful?
But they are keeping it, there's like a max capacity. So if, it's unfortunate, you do probably want to call ahead and see if some of like the craft beverage places are at max capacity, because they are keeping it at a minimum and you won't be able to get in. But if you go early enough or call ahead, most of them have such large outdoor property that you're okay. You wait online to go in to get whatever you want, and then you go out to the grounds and just enjoy the beautiful atmosphere and the craft beverages. So, it's a suggestion, because then you can leaf peep and enjoy the bounty of the Hudson Valley at the same time. So, yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Have you been taking advantage of anything, or you've been too busy working on the gala?
A little busy on the gala, but I always take time. I truly do find that nature calms me down.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm painting myself as that worked up, but I do sometimes need to just come down a peg or two and just relax. And I find that a breeze and any view of the Hudson River, whether I'm driving over a bridge or looking at it, or any water, actually. Well, I would say, I think a lot of people, water is has a calming effect. And we're not short on creeks and streams and brooks and lakes and reservoirs and beautiful places to go here in Ulster County. I, too, have been out to the rail trail a number of times.
The Ashokan Rail Trail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
It's really beautiful. Yeah. We love to go to the Ashokan and just walk
Yes.
around the reservoir and do that. So that's really great.
So for anybody that has not been out to the Ashokan Rail Trail, it's right off Route 28, which is the Catskill Scenic Byway. And there are 3 trailheads, which means there are 3 different parking areas. So it's 11 and a half ADA compliantly paved trail. And so there are 3 different areas to which you can park, which is great. The first one, if you're coming from the traffic circle in Kingston, let's say, and you're headed west on 28, the first one is at Basin Road, and you really can't miss them as you drive out, and the last one being out in Boyceville. So you don't have to do the whole entire thing.
And you said 11 and a half, but you didn't finish your sentence. Miles?
Oh, 11 and a half miles. Yes, yes.
So it's about a 4 to 5 mile hike, walk from
Stretch
any of the ends
between,
into the
yes.
middle and then
Yes.
back again.
Yes. And it's, for anybody who isn't familiar with it, it is the north bank of the Ashokan Reservoir. And no matter which part you're walking on,
You eventually see the reservoir.
yes.
Right.
And it is beautiful no matter where
The
you're
woods
walking.
is beautiful
Yeah.
where you're walking.
Yeah.
Also very calming.
Yeah, it's very peaceful. Even when there's other people on the trail, it's still calming.
Yeah.
You're not out there on your own, but yeah. But all the trails are open, to my knowledge, in the county. So you can go to our website, ulstercountyalive.com. There's a whole recreation section. So ulstercountyalive.com. Or you can Google Ulster County Tourism, and you'll find ulstercountyalive.com, and you'll find everything there, from museums and galleries and restaurants, places.
What's the link, the specific link for the restaurants? I'd love to send a shout out to the restaurants. Do you know?
On our site,
Yeah.
ulstercountyalive.com, and up at the top it's going to say Play, Eat, Stay, and if you just click on Eat, the entire list of restaurants in Ulster County will show up on there. And yeah, the restaurants have been doing an amazing job. And on our homepage, there's also a brand window that has a map that you can click to find out all the restaurants that are doing takeout, delivery, dine-in, alfresco dining. So there's a brand window right there. You can't miss them all. And then there's also on Facebook Ulster Eateries, which is
Yes.
Ulster Eateries United that the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce started.
They do a great job with that.
Yeah, it does, somebody posts, oh, they're looking for such and such recommendations on, the best carrot cake in town, or, it's kind of fun. Or if somebody's had a really great experience with a meal or a particular restaurant, it's always nice to say, oh, I want to put that on my list of places I want to go.
And I know Jess Vincent Davis has done a great
Yes,
job of
yes.
popping around from place to place.
Jess
and
has been
remind-
traveling, God bless you. Jess has been traveling the county. So yeah, check out Ulster Eateries United on Facebook for
There's somebody we should have on the show.
Jess.
Sure.
Oh, yes. I should have thought of her this morning, except she's running around doing all the videos for Ulster County, the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce Business Recognition Awards, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
It is, and we're very proud to be part of that. The SUNY Ulster has received the Award of Business of the Year. So
very
I have a
nice.
big shout out to the President's cabinet, to the faculty and staff at SUNY Ulster, and the students who are working so hard under, it is truly a difficult circumstance, when people are expecting to learn by going to a class, and they need to literally pivot and learn how to learn differently. So I just send a shout out to everybody who's stuck with their goals and dreams and keep pushing
Yeah.
themselves through this.
Still moving forward with it. Yeah. Good for them.
So we are on Kingston Community Radio. This is Lorraine Salmon.
And Fran DiPetrillo-Savoca.
And we are happy to be with you. And our call-in line is 331-9255. Is that to call in and talk if they want to, Lawrence?
That's it.
That's it.
331-9255.
So we're here until 9 o'clock, and we're going to have a few guests. But if you'd like to call and talk to us, we are here. What else, Fran?
What else?
see.
Well,
What are you doing
my
this weekend?
husband and I, I'm actually working for a caterer out in Stone Ridge.
Oh, good for the caterer.
Yeah.
We got a phone call.
Oh,
Okay.
good morning.
You're on
Good
the.
morning. We the people vote for and elect persons who take an oath of office to serve and protect the welfare and safety of we the people, not to be the servants of a governor or leaders of the state, senate, and assembly, and their financiers and lobbyists. We have experienced the disintegration of our communities, towns, cities, and states. These politicians emptied our treasury, supplies, and warehouses necessary for response to crises, while they give themselves raises and favors to wealthy supporters. They pass bills and laws which jeopardize the safety and health of our citizens. The rise of killings and crimes as a consequence of their bail bond bill, the rise of opioid addictions and the threats to various medications, and rise of suicides and mental breakdowns by passing the marijuana bill, and threats to our first responders, hospitals, schools, and nursing homes. If we are to save our communities and our people, and we see wonderful people all the time, especially when they're on GHQ, we need to use our common sense instead of our emotional attachments to party and vote out current state and congressional candidates and give their opponents the opportunity to change and rebuild our communities and state, warning their replacements that if they do not make the necessary changes, they will have short-lived offices. It is we, the people's responsibility to think carefully, use our common sense, and go out and vote.
Well, thank you for your opinions this morning.
Yes, thank you. Great reminder to go out and vote.
It is, and
November 3rd. Thank you so much.
So we're getting ready for our first guest this morning.
Yes, Gretchen Reed from Mohank Preserve should be calling in very soon.
Do you guys want to go to break while we wait for her?
Yeah, we can go to break.
Great.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
100 years ago, there were 100,000 tigers in the wild. Today, there are as few as 3,200. The Earth's wild animals can't speak up when they need help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Central Hudson reminds you that summer thunderstorms can strike with strong, gusty winds, knocking down trees and power lines. If you see a downed power line, call 911 immediately to report it. Power lines can carry an electric current strong enough to cause injury or death. Stay at least 30 feet away from a fallen line. Don't try to move it or anything that has come in contact with it. And never drive over a power line. Remember, your safety matters.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ruth Quick from Town of Ulster. I support Kingston Community Radio, and you should too.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back. This is Lorraine Salmon.
And Fran DiPetrillo-Savoca.
And we are here on Kingston Community Radio. Our call-in number is 331-9255, and we're about to welcome our first guest this morning. She's on.
Good morning, Gretchen.
Good morning.
Hi. So we've been telling our listening audience all morning that we would be hearing at 7:30 from Gretchen Reed, Director of Marketing and Communications from Mohank Preserve. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we're looking forward to what you have to share about the preserve and what currently things are happening.
Well, yeah, I'm so happy to be with you, and welcome to all of our friends and members in Kingston. Maybe I should just say a few words about the preserve. Hopefully everybody knows who we are, but just in case.
Yes.
Mohonk Preserve is New York State's largest nonprofit nature preserve. And we've been operating for over 60 years, so we're also one of the oldest nature preserves in New York. We protect about 8,000 acres of land in and around the Shawangunk Ridge and in the Shawangunk Mountains region. And that includes lands in 5 local towns of Gardner, Marbletown, New Paltz, Rochester, and Rosendale.
Wow.
We have about 16,000 members who help support the preserve. And on a usual year, and I preface that this year because things have been slightly different, but on a usual year, we welcome about 300,000 visitors annually to the preserve who come to hike and bike and run and climb and enjoy nature on our fabulous 8,000 acres.
Gretchen, how many visitors per year?
About the background of our organization.
Gretchen?
And,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
How many visitors per year? This is Lorraine Salmon.
About 300,000 on a usual year.
Wow.
Of course, we've been impacted this year, as everyone has, by the pandemic. So I can talk a little bit about that and what our response to that has been and what our visitation has been like during that time.
Sure. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So this year, along with, of course, many other organizations, in the early spring, which is usually the time, of course, when the preserve is really gearing up for our season, even though we are a year-round destination and we do have winter activities like snowshoeing and cross-country skiing. But clearly, starting in the spring, things usually really start to pick up with people coming out to hike and run and ride their bikes and climb. And so that was very challenging for us because we actually had to shut down for about 8 weeks due to the pandemic while we retrofitted all of our trailheads. And we do have trailheads in many of the places that I mentioned. So we had to retrofit all of the trailheads to prepare for COVID, hire additional trailhead assistants to help out with our visitation, retrain all of our trailhead assistants and our staff on all of the COVID protocols. We were really fortunate that we have in-house a fantastic team of rangers, many of whom not only are they fantastic rescue specialists, vertical rescue specialists, and some of the finest in the world on mountain search and rescue, but they also are trained EMTs and have medical professional backgrounds. So they were really able to help us with all the preparations for COVID. They already had PPE that they use in the course of their jobs. So they were able to train the rest of the staff on proper use of PPE. So that was an amazing resource to have in-house to be able to help us know what we had to deal with. And then, of course, with guidance from Ulster County, from New York State, and from all of the federal guidance, it was really helpful to us to be able to prepare and make sure that we could safely welcome visitors back, which we did and in May, and it was just fantastic, the response. I think everybody has seen, and certainly everyone who is in our industry of outdoor recreation has seen just a surge in people wanting to have, places to have healthy outdoor recreation. So, we were really gratified by the response of people coming and being really responsible in their use of the preserve and really, paying attention to our COVID guidance and regulations and, wearing their masks and socially distancing. So we're really grateful to all of our community members and to our visitors who have, helped us to be able to be open and provide this great opportunity for people to safely get healthy outdoor exercise or just be in nature and enjoy being outdoors in nature.
Thank you, Gretchen. I just want to remind our listeners we're listening to Gretchen Reed, the Director of Marketing and Communications for Mohank Preserve, and I'm really enjoying and appreciating the information you're sharing so far. If at some point within your next half hour, if you can even go back as far to how Mohank Preserve started, because I often find with visitors and some locals that there is some confusion between Mohonk Mountain House and Mohank Preserve. And so if at some point you can give us a little bit of that history, which I know you can, that would be great too.
Sure. I'm happy to do that. And I know sometimes when when we share a first name with a world-class, amazing hotel, resort, and spa, so there are times when people think that we are them. Occasionally there are times when people think that they are us. We do work very closely together and have a very shared history, as you mentioned. The founders of what was originally called the Mohonk Trust, now the Mohonk Preserve, were family members, Smiley family members, the Smiley family who founded and owns the Mohonk Mountain House, Hotel, Resort, and Spa. And they were also founders of the Mohonk Trust and in 1963. And so we share absolutely a shared heritage. We also share a carriage road network, our famous historic carriage road network, which is on the Mountain House property, extends into Mohonk Preserve, and then extends also into Minnewaska State Park Preserve. So all three of our organizations share and maintain. We have a joint agreement to maintain these beautiful historic carriage roads that run through all three of our properties. We have a really close working relationship with Mohonk Mountain House. We have a reciprocal agreement so that our visitors can hike onto their lands, their guests can hike onto our lands. So we're really always involved with the Mountain House. We have regular meetings to coordinate, and especially during a time like COVID, we work really very closely to coordinate things like trail reopenings and to know what their schedules were for their preparations and reopening, and when we could open the trails, and when their grounds for the hotel were going to open. So we really appreciate our colleagues at Mohonk Mountain House and have a great working relationship with them. And a couple of the Smiley family members still serve, on the board of directors of the preserve. So we're all still very involved together, and this is a wonderful heritage. And actually, I'd like to go a little bit more into one aspect of that heritage about a project that's actually happening today.
Great.
On Friday, October 16th, which is a really interesting project, and it has to do with our conservation science natural history records. And we have 4 main programs at the preserve, program areas that we operate in. So those are conservation science, environmental education, land protection, and land stewardship. And so our conservation science program is one of our longest standing programs. It's over 100 years of natural history data in that program. So I'll give you just a little bit of background on that. Just for over a century, we've been diligently, and when I say we, I mean people before the preserve and to this day, have been diligently collecting data on all aspects of natural life in the Mohonk Mountains region. And that's everything from the weather patterns to the phenology of local species, the timing of things in nature, like when birds arrive and when plants bloom. And this has all been carefully monitored and cataloged every year. So we have this real treasure trove of data about all of the natural history of the gunks. So today we use technology to store and track our data, but back when we started getting this data, Daniel Smiley, who was the creator of this project, and of course the Smiley family members who founded the family who founded the Mohonk Mountain House, he would walk the land with note cards in hand, writing down whatever he saw.
That's excellent.
The Smiley family were Quakers, and they were big note takers. So they liked to record things. And so Dan would walk around, and his brother Keith Smiley also would walk around with note cards, writing down what they saw. And over the course of Dan's lifetime, over 14,000 note cards were created by him and researchers he worked with. He was actually the first research director. He founded our Daniel Smiley Research Center, is named after the Preserve's Daniel Smiley Research Center, is named after Dan, and actually is located in the house in which he lived on Mohonk Mountain House land.
That's beautiful.
That's
I know.
Another way in which we're connected with the Mountain House. So these note cards are really rich in detailed information, and they can be used in many, many different research projects, like ecology, land use change, animal migration. So rather than keeping these important research tools tucked away in file cabinets, we want to make them all digitally available to scientists and students and anybody who wants to use them. So some of these cards are over a century old, as I said, and together they tell a really detailed story about both the natural occurrences and the human influence change in the gunk.
So what is happening today?
One of the cards, Dan documents his first observation of a porcupine on September 11th, 1930, marking the return of porcupines to the ridge following an era of really intense lumber harvest where they'd been driven out of the ridge. So it's just amazing to see these cards. But unfortunately, not that many people were able to see them because unless they could travel to the Daniel Smiley Research Center, because they were still on these note cards, they really couldn't use them. So we got support from the Student Museum and Library Services through their Museums for America program, and also locally from the Clovehitch Foundation. And we were able to establish a project protocol, hire a digitization technician, and start creating digital images of these cards. And so that was fantastic, and it was a great step forward. But then we decided that we could really, amplify this program by making and helping to make this information fully searchable by having citizen scientists and others who are interested help transcribe the information on these note cards. We've scanned them all, and now we need to transcribe them because they're handwritten so that they will be searchable on an electronic database. And so we're working on a platform called Zooniverse, which is a citizen science website, and we've been working on this project. And it's been amazing. We have people from all over the world, citizen scientists from all over the world, who are just interested in natural history, and they come in and transcribe the cards for us, and it just has been phenomenal. So today, we are starting another aspect of this project, which is it's actually, you're calling it a digitization blitz on a platform called We Dig Bio. That's WE Dig DIG Bio BIO all one word .org. And we're going to be they have a yearly campaign at We Dig Bio to encourage anyone with an interest in science to get involved in digitization projects of all kinds. And so this year we're one of the projects that they picked.
Awesome.
So they're really going to amplify this project and invite all of these people who are involved with We Dig Bio to come on and have a mass transcription of these cards. And we're very excited about it because we've already had, just through our project on Zooniverse, about 70% of the cards transcribed. So we're hoping we may be able to actually push it over the top with this project. So again, the platform that this is on is called We Dig Bio, WEDIGBIO.org. And our natural history project is listed as one of their digitization blitz projects that folks can get involved with. It's a great way for people who are interested at all, for students, anyone who's just interested in natural history, in weather information, in species information, and we get asked all the time questions like, why do the leaves change and when do the leaves change? And that kind of information is all on these amazing cards.
So, Gretchen?
Some of which, by the way, were even written on the backs of hotel menus from the Mohonk Mountain House. So we have a wide range of things that we have this information reported on. But it's a great opportunity for people who are interested in history or conservation science or climate change to really be able to go in and see what that means in a practical sense, looking at these records across time. So I would encourage anybody who's even remotely interested in any of those things or just wants an interesting project to do. Again, weedigbio.org, and today is the Digitization Blitz.
That's awesome, Gretchen. This is Lorraine Salmon. Thanks for sharing that with us.
You're welcome. Well, it's just, we're really excited about it, and this project is going to revolutionize the way people can, without having to make a reservation, come to Mohonk Mountain House, go to the Daniel Smiley Research Center, and we can only, again, with these cards, as I said before, some of them are over 100 years old. We don't really want people to necessarily be handling the cards, so this will really open up access to so many people to all of this great data, and we're really excited about it.
Awesome. Again, we're speaking with Gretchen Reed from the Mohank Preserve, and we're here on Kingston Community Radio. Gretchen, when will the results of these transcriptions and digitization be available to the public?
Well, we actually already have some results up from our former projects that we've been working on. We do already have some data sets up that are in the Environmental Data Initiative and EDI portal, which is part of the National Science Foundation. So we've already started making them available to science, but they're going to be much more widely available to the public once we get all of these transcriptions in. And it's going to be fantastic. They're going to really be made accessible to students, researchers, scientists, and the general public across the nation and around the world. So we're very excited about this. And if we can get this done and push it through with our digitization blitz at weedigbio.org today, that'll just speed up the process for us getting them onto a public platform and so that everybody will be able to access them. So we'll certainly be keeping people posted. You can learn more about all of this at mohankpreserve.org. We have information in our conservation science section of our website about our digitization program and all the other great work. Our conservation science team is amazing, and they're doing phenomenal work. But this is just one project that I wanted to highlight because of the digitization blitz today, again at weedigbio.org.
And imagine had Dan Smiley not taken all those notes.
Exactly.
Where would we be?
We're so lucky that, he was a naturally curious person and that he was really a leader in early conservation efforts. He was tracking acid rain. We have over 100 years of consistent weather records, and he was tracking things like, he would sample the lakes at Mohonk Lake, and he was tracking the acidity, and he was one of the first people who called out the issues of acid rain by noticing the pH change in the lake.
Wow, that's excellent, though, that we've got all that now.
He was really an important figure in natural history. And again, we have much more information about the history of our conservation science department on our website, mohankpreserve.org. But it's a really important part of what we do. All of our land management policies are based in conservation science. It's one of the things that makes us unique as an organization. There are lots of kinds of organizations that protect land. There are land trusts, there are nature preserves, there are lots of different kinds of organizations. One of the things that's unique about Mohonk Preserve is all of the different aspects that we bring together with our conservation science, environmental education, land protection, and land stewardship. So everything works together. And so the conservation science really is part of our DNA, and we're happy to be able to share it more widely. We've been sharing it for many years through our education programs, and again through research associates who come and work with us every year. And so now we're excited to be able to have even more people access these records and learn about Dan's work, and Paul Huth, our research director emeritus, who for many years worked with Dan, and all of the team that is working on this today, Natalie Feldstein, Jordan Williams, our digitization technician. So it's just a great bunch of folks working on a really important project.
That's awesome, Gretchen. I'm just going to recap a little. We're on with Gretchen Reed, Director of Marketing for the Mohank Preserve, but I learned a few things today. So the Mohank Preserve is over 8,000 acres. They have 16,000 members and 300,000 visitors annually, except maybe in a COVID year. And Gretchen, you made me think about my brother, Gerard, who is retired now and lives in Texas, but he's a herpetologist. And I'm going to tell him about your project because I imagine there's a few of those index cards from Dan Smiley about reptiles and lizards and snakes and things that are also...
Absolutely. Yeah. He would, I'm sure he would be fascinated. So absolutely let him know about that.
We will.
So another thing I'd like to talk about that's also coming up on Sunday is our first ever Plein Air Art Walk. This is a great partnership that we've formed. This is one of those examples of a kind of a COVID-19 pivot where we've tried to think about in new ways. As you might imagine, many of our events and programs that we normally operate during COVID have been put on pause. And so we've really had to reimagine some things, and we had an opportunity to partner with Roost Studios in New Paltz on a plein air art walk. This is something we have never done at the Preserve, but we're excited about it for lots of reasons, because it's a way to connect art and nature, of course, and the partnership with Roost is really exciting to put it on. But we're also excited about it because it's happening on our very newest trailhead, the first trailhead in about 30 years, new trailhead in about 30 years at Mohank Preserve, which is our testimonial gateway trailhead. It is in the Mohank Preserve foothills, which is an 836-acre area that the Preserve has been working on really since about 2012, when we first started partnering with Open Space Institute on looking at this property and trying to develop a management plan for them for the property, and then us purchasing the property and developing plans again for this trailhead to be built on the property, and working with the town of New Paltz to bring that all to fruition. So this Testimonial Gateway Trailhead is located right on Route 299, just outside of New Paltz, near Gatehouse Road. And a lot of people may be familiar with the area because it includes the beautiful Testimonial Gateway Tower, the stone arch building you can see from Route 299. And that was the original entrance, again, tying back to the Mohonk Mountain House. That was the original entrance to the Mohonk Mountain House before they built the roads up to the mountain house.
Fran and
there's a carriage road that runs all along there, that runs all the way up to the ridge. And so the artists we're working with, again, this is going to happen on Sunday, October 18th, this Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we're working with a group of 18 curated group. Roost Studios curated this group of recognized Hudson Valley artists, and they're going to be stationed all along what we call the Pinnock Alley, which is a beautiful section just past the Testimonial Gateway Tower that has amazing Pinnocks trees planted all along it, and it gives you a majestic view of the ridge and beyond. So they're going to be stationed all along the trails there, the Pinnock Alley and surrounding area, and they're going to be painting from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Or sketching or drawing and creating beautiful works of art. And then following the event, the art's going to be auctioned off, and the proceeds will benefit the participating artists, Roost Studios, which is a nonprofit organization in New Paltz, and Mohank Preserve.
That's awesome. So, for anybody who's watching on YouTube.
And so if folks would like to know more about it or register to look at the auction, they can, again, go to mohonkpreserve.org under our programs and events, and it's the Plein Air Art Walk is right there. It's featured right when you sign in on the website. And again, it's going to be October 18th, 2020, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Mohonk Preserve's Testimonial Gateway Trailhead. It's a great opportunity for people who haven't gotten a chance to get out to the Testimonial Gateway Trailhead. It's just an amazing trailhead. We're so proud of it. We worked really hard on it, and to make sure that it just has so many amazing features. It's beautiful fields, farmlands, marshlands. It's historic farms and barns. It's just a beautiful, beautiful spot. And with that amazing view of Skytop Tower in the distance up on the ridge, I think everybody will be really impressed by what they see if they go over and visit. It's also holds part of the River to Ridge Trail. We collaborated with our colleagues at OSI on the River to Ridge Trail. So many people may be familiar with the part of the River to Ridge Trail that runs from Springtown Road over New Paltz and then across what used to be known as the Flats, and it has a loop trail going back, but it now extends into the Mohonk Preserve foothills also, and we have another half of the trail that goes up and goes through the Mohonk Preserve foothills. And that's a free trail, River to Ridge. Anyone can come on and use it, and it's very carefully marked so everybody can find their way on the River to Ridge Trail. And we also, our section is called the Mohonk Preserve Foothills Loop of the River to Ridge Trail. So now people can have like about a 6-mile experience on this River to Ridge Trail, where they can walk all the way from, or bike all the way from the Springtown Road Trailhead, OSI Springtown Road Trailhead, across over into the Mohonk Preserve foothills, do our loop, and then go back. So
that's awesome, Gretchen. We want to thank you. We were looking at a picture of this beautiful gateway. Anybody who's watching on YouTube can see it on our screen, but it's quite beautiful. And we're rounding the end of our 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and we want to thank you so much for being our guest today. We've been speaking with Gretchen Reed, the Director of Marketing for the Mohonk Preserve.
And yes, Gretchen, thank you so much. That we'll have to have you back on again, because there is so much with 8,000 acres and so many trailheads that we could talk about. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Well, you're welcome. I really hope folks will check out WeDigBio.org and also our Plein Air Art Walk, MohonkPreserve.org.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Okay, we're going to break.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Central Hudson reminds you, when you're doing yard work, safety matters. If you use a ladder, be aware of overhead electric lines. including the service wire that runs to your house. Even wooden ladders can conduct electricity with dangerous results. And be very careful if there are electric lines above or near a swimming pool, and you're working with skimmers, brooms, or other long-handled tools. Central Hudson wishes you a safe summer.
Introducing the YMCA. Sure, you know the Y for a swim or a game of hoops, but we're more than that. We're a cause. When you take a jump shot at the Y, someone else is getting job training. Practice yoga as a team practices her leadership skills. We give people of all ages, incomes, and backgrounds a chance to learn, grow, and thrive. So while you might think of the Y as the place for lifting weights, we're also about lifting entire communities. That's the Y. We're so much more. Visit ymca.net/more.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing, we got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This programming is brought to you by the Friends of Kevin Cahill. As a strong advocate of local broadcasting, Assemblymember Cahill urges you to support Kingston Community Radio with your time and donations. Your contributions keep KCR vital and on the air at FM 92.5, AM 920, and on the web at mykcr.org. Please join Assemblymember Cahill and send your gifts of $10, $25, or more to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. Together, let's keep KCR alive.
Good morning. Welcome back. This is Lorraine Salmon and
Fran DiPetrillo-Savoca.
And we're thrilled to have you with us on this Friday, October 16th. We're going to kick off this hour with happy birthday wishes. So for today, the 16th of October, to Jean Benson, from your friends and family, husband Ted, children Janine, Andy, Kim, Jennifer, 10 grandchildren, and all the great-grands.
Wow.
So happy birthday to Janine, and you are the winner of the Boyce Dairy Milkhouse cow pie from Boyce's Dairy and Kingston Community Radio. You can stop by at any time to pick up your cow pie, and happy birthday.
So tomorrow we have 2 birthdays. October 17th, it's happy birthday to Brianna Chubb from Karen, grandparents, family members, friends, and classmates. Have a ball with your classmates. So happy birthday, Brianna Chubb. And also tomorrow, October 17th, is a happy birthday to Rachel Karen from your friends and family and all of your diabetes patients. Oh, that was sweet. October 17th, happy birthday, Rachel Karen. And for Saturday, the winner of the Boyce Dairy Milkhouse cow pie is Cowbell. Rachel Karen. Happy birthday and congratulations. So you can go to Boyce's Dairy at 62 O'Neill Street in Kingston to pick up your cow pie, your happy birthday cow pie, courtesy of Boyce Dairy Milkhouse and Kingston Community Radio.
So, top of the hour, here we go. And we have yet another guest.
Yes, and we have never met before. So joining us this morning, we have Mark Cozzupoli, the Director of Ulster County Veteran Services, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, welcome.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much for coming in. We're excited to hear who you are, how long you've been with the county and all that you're doing in veteran services.
Yeah, let's start by introducing you to all of our listeners.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for having us today. Always love to speak about veteran services and what we can do for the community. I started with the county a little less than a year ago.
Okay.
So I spent 26 years in the Air Force. I retired last year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm.
My last 4 years was spent as the senior enlisted leader at Stewart Air National Guard Base.
Wow.
So my job really boiled down to, at that point, taking care of the troops. That was my sole focus, was to make sure that the leadership understood what the airmen needed to do their job to the best ability, the best of their abilities, how to keep them safe, and make sure that they had all the resources they needed. So it helped manage the risk, make sure that they were going to be safe in completing the missions that they were put to. So it was great, very rewarding position. During my time, I was a logistician through most of my career until the end. I've been on 5 deployments.
Okay.
Iraq, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia twice, and then, believe it or not, Antarctica once.
Wow. Really?
Considered a deployment because it's Operation Deep Freeze.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yes.
There's probably a whole half hour in Antarctica.
I was able to go to the South Pole.
Seriously?
Wow.
Yes.
You're my first person I've ever met who's been to the South Pole.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say me too.
Plein Air National Guard Base, which is about an hour and a half north of here, maybe an hour. They have what's called the ski birds. They're certain C-130s that can land on the ice.
Yes.
And their mission is to work with the National Science Foundation in Antarctica or up in Greenland. So we went and supplemented them 1 year.
So
Great
I
experience.
have to ask a few questions. So how long were you there?
6 weeks.
6 weeks in Antarctica. And what was the coldest it was while you were there?
At the South Pole, it's about minus 85.
Minus
Wind chill.
85 degrees at the South Pole.
Yeah.
And is there ever an unusually warm day at the South Pole?
Not at the South Pole, no. Where we were, McMurdo Air Station, which is right on the the border of Antarctica. It wasn't that bad. It just felt like a regular winter here, just maybe a little bit colder. It was very dry.
Very dry, so
yes.
that helped.
Helped a lot.
Yeah, I think when it hits a certain point of cold is cold.
Believe
Like,
it or
right?
not, though, I spent two and a half years in North Dakota.
Yeah.
I would take Antarctica any day.
Wow,
over
from North Dakota.
I have been to Minot.
Yeah, I was at Grand Forks, and it was extremely cold all of the time, most of the year.
Wow.
And it was
There are no summers in North Dakota.
only 2 months, and it's a beautiful time, but it's very short.
Wow, the South Pole. You have
Yes,
photos of your
I do.
time at the South
I do.
Pole? We'll have to
on my
post
phone.
some. We'll have to get you. We'll exchange texts and we'll
Yeah.
post some on our page, on our Facebook
yeah,
page.
that's a good idea.
That would be really interesting, I think, to see. Well, that's a really interesting. Well, thank you for your service. Also, I see. We're talking about the South Pole as if that's just a joyous place to get to be, but your other deployments are Iraq, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, so that had to be more difficult.
Yes, much more difficult. That's why I like talking about
South Pole.
South Pole.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun, but just going on a deployment, it is tough, and so I've been on, like you said, 4 that I consider to be, the real deployments, and 2, where it was really in the combat zone. So
Dangerous.
In Afghanistan, and that it helps me identify with a lot of the other veterans that are out there that have been through.
I was just going to ask, do you think we ever get over we, meaning the collective veterans, get over having been in such a dangerous place? It kind of lives inside of you someplace, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know. I've never been.
Yeah, and it's different for everybody, but it's always there. It's something you've done. It's something you've accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
I volunteered for all of my deployments, so it was something that I felt I wanted to do for my country, for my my wing, my Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of the people today, our entire force right now is volunteer. Everybody volunteers to join the military for the last 30 years.
Right.
And
no drafts.
And we've been at war for the last 20 years, and you know what what you're going to do in your time, but it's still until you're there and experience it, and there's so many different levels of what you can experience on a deployment, but you don't know what it's like until you experience it. And in my office, we understand that. So like I said, I was in the Air Force, so I was more on the base with the aircraft and a lot of the expensive equipment, and we weren't outside the wire shooting weapons, but we were dodging rockets and mortars and things of that nature. But we have a lot of our brothers and sisters who are in the Marines, Army, Air Force, Navy, just have been outside the wire too and have seen things maybe I haven't seen. Mm-hmm. And I know that, and that's good that I know that, because I'm not going to try to put my experiences on them. I just want them to tell us what's going on and how can we help them. But I do have other people in our office that have deployed. So my deputy is also, he's retired Army, and he is deployed multiple times. And like we know in the Army, you're kind of out there more into the combat a little bit.
On the ground.
So he's on the ground. So he has a certain way of identifying with other people. And we have some service officers too, veteran service officers, another Air Force, but went very early in deployment during the invasion in Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
So different experience again than from when I went.
That's right.
Because even though same Air Force, same place, I went when it was a little bit more built up. Our operations were running.
And someone had to get that built up. Somebody had to.
So it does stay with you. It is something, though, that I'm very proud of, that I was able to do that during my career. I wanted to be able to say that I did my best. I did what was asked of me and more. And then when I was done,
you were
done.
Well, you can hold your head up and know you finished. You did what you set out to do, and again,
and did it to the most difficult extent that was afforded to me, so I could, like you said, have that way to identify. And then I transitioned right into the best position I could have asked for, because as I said, the last 4 years was spent taking care of the airmen. Now, my job as the director is to make sure we take care of the veterans.
So can you talk a little bit to us about what kind of services that entails?
So it's a wide array of services that we offer. And what I would like to stress to any of the veterans out there, or any family members of veterans, is there is no limit to what we're willing to do to help a veteran. You just got to get them to our office or call us. So at 845-340-3190. Could be
I want to remind everybody, we're talking to Mark Cozzupoli, the Director of Ulster County Veterans Services, and so that's important information. I'd like to start back and give the number again.
845-340-3190. Again, because as I stated, there's nothing that we're not willing to do or try to do to help a veteran.
But if you don't know of the need,
correct,
you can't do anything,
unless
right?
They come to our doors, we don't really know what's necessary to help them.
And can they come in and see you as well? And where are you located?
So we're located at 5 Development Court off of Ulster Avenue. It's the Department of Social Services building and the Family Court building. We're kind of tucked in the corner, but you'll see a sign that says Veteran Services. You just go to the door and tell them you're here to see Mark or Frank or any of the other guys or girls in the veterans office, and then we will help you.
Great.
But calling first is best, if possible. But so we do everything from whether it's helping veterans with their paperwork for VA claims, which is a big thing we do. It's to help them fight against the VA, where they're advocates, to get them what they deserve, what they've earned. People go through a lot, physically and mentally, and then they get out and they don't really know what to do with themselves, and they also don't know what they've earned. And coming to us helps us identify with them, hey, this is what you're eligible to get. Let's try that. And then we can be their advocate. We become their spokesperson with the VA. So we do things like that. We do a lot of community events where we just try to, we have a monthly luncheon, which is on hold now because of Corona, but we'll be getting back to that. We have a yearly stand-down, veteran stand-down that we do.
What is that?
Which is, so a veteran stand-down is meant to bring all of the resources together in one spot to provide veterans, and that's like the outside agencies and support organizations. And what we do is we make ours a little extra special. We have this surplus item, so it's like Army, Air Force gear that we get for free throughout the year. We order it through the DoD, and we receive all these items like boots, gloves, jackets, some cool gear, bags.
Great.
That we will also let the veterans take some of these items that they want.
And the DoD, I just want to insert, is Department of Defense.
Department of Defense.
Okay.
So we get all that for free, and then we allow our veterans to come. So we kind of try to capture them. We want them to hear all the good things that are out there for them and meet with any of those support organizations that could potentially help them. At the same time, then we give them some free stuff and then feed them some lunch, and it's a wonderful day, but again, we're on hold with that, but it's yearly.
But it's usually about connecting, and I think that's great. It's connecting. I mean, we really can't do enough for our veterans. I just want to say that.
And so this coming year, what I would really like to do is couple that with a community event at the same time and do it at a larger location.
And what would a community event look like?
So we're going to call it a community call to action to raise awareness to veteran suicide.
Yeah.
Because veteran suicide, they say it's 22 a day. That's a very high number. And then some studies show that it's higher than that. And service members and veterans, that is their number one enemy. Kills a lot more service members yearly than war. And veterans, it's our number one enemy. And,
isn't that sad?
We have to look at it though as an enemy and not as something that just happens, and we have to find a way to.
Well, it's proof. It's proof that we need to do more. Yes. It's proof that whatever happens to somebody who's been deployed stays with them and is something that they have to deal with for their entire life. Mm-hmm. And we owe it to them to help them for their entire life.
It's true. So the community call to action, again, would be to raise awareness. And it would be either a walk or run, but also a festival type event with food trucks, other things going on at the same time. We started planning, but it got derailed. But we will.
I think it's a great idea.
Because it brings the community with the veterans, and they can intermingle, they can connect if they want to, or not. But community members feel good about doing something to give back.
Yep, and saying thank you.
Yes.
For your service. I think sometimes those can be very powerful words, especially if you're on the receiving end of them, and deservedly need to hear that.
Yes, and younger veterans don't really tend to come out to events.
I've heard that.
Like the stand down or the VFWs or the Legion halls, because it's just not their cup of tea. It's not how they grew up or what they're into. But an event like that will bring them out, because they'll want to do a walk or a run or something because they know what it means.
Right.
Or they've lost somebody in service or as a veteran. And then that will also help us connect with them.
Yes, I heard that somewhere else too. We're with Mark Cozzupoli from Veteran Services of Ulster County, and I'm Lorraine Salmon. And you are?
Fran Savoca.
And we are on Kingston Community Radio, and Mark was just talking about the younger veterans, and I heard that our foundation just honored Mary Stuart Masterson and Jeremy Davidson, and they have an organization called Story Horse Theater, and they did one of their productions recently, last year, I think 2019, in Red Hook, and they honored a friend of mine, Tom Rancich, who's a retired Navy SEAL, and they told his story. And at the end of the production, one of the things that I learned was exactly what you just told us, that some of the veterans stood up and shared with us that the importance of the veteran community is gigantic because of veteran suicide. It's important to have a place to go and for people to feel connected to other people who could possibly understand what they're going through. And yet the younger generations are not drawn to those particular
It's true.
Right, events or
They're not.
organizations.
And
We need to figure out what that is.
it's hard, and it's hard to really qualify exactly why that is. And I'm in the middle. I look at it, so I'm not too old. I'm 44 years old. Like I said, did 26 years, and that was one of the best things of my job. I was able to connect with the younger airmen and identify a lot with them, find out what their likes and dislikes are. What happens, though, is you go on these deployments, and you could be a 19, 20-year-old kid. You go out there, but you're part of something that's so important and so great, so large, and that you feel like you're doing so much for the country and the world and your fellow.
You must be changed forever just by having been there.
So then you come home, and let's say you get out a year later or that year, and then what? You try to go to college, and maybe you're 2-3 years behind your peers. You're not doing so well. Wait, I was so important a year ago, functioning in this huge, high-level machine, and now I'm home and I'm worthless. I can't even pass a college class. And it's stories like that we have to try to make sure that they know that it's understood. And you will be coming back, and it's going to be different if you choose to get out. It's going to be a different type of environment for you. However, there are a lot of more people like you that are out there to connect with.
So I'm thinking like SUNY Ulster and Veteran Services, and is there a cross between? And
Yes, we have great services at SUNY Ulster. We're actually known for them. We have a designation for being a veteran-friendly college.
We do, yeah. We have a good relationship with them, and they have the Veterans Club
Yep.
at SUNY Ulster, which we would like to see everywhere if possible. So there is a new agency that's in Kingston that I'd like to talk about.
Sure.
It's the Hudson Valley Center for Veterans Reintegration. So they're known as the Center, but again, Hudson Valley Center for Veterans Reintegration. It's run by Kevin Keaveney and his crew there, and one of the guys, his name is Gavin Walters. And they run what's called the Vet to Vet program. So Vet to Vet is a peer support program that is grant funded from New York State. This is the first year Ulster County has received it, thanks to County Executive Ryan. I wrote some letters. He wrote letters. We pushed for it. We didn't understand why Ulster was the only one in this region not to have it when we have more than 10,000 veterans in the county, and we were able to secure the funding. And it was wonderful.
That's
so
great.
now we have a Vet to Vet that's operating in Kingston.
So do you work hand in hand with them? You can refer as soon as you meet somebody if you think.
We refer to them, they refer. We look at it as a partnership where something might be a little bit too far out of our lane emotionally. We can get them over to Vet. Same thing. When they're having vets that they're dealing with and they realize, there's something on the business end that we can help them with, they connect them to us. And we have a great relationship, and we try our best to keep supporting them in all of their new ventures. So they might be a very good organization for you to have here in the future.
Sure.
Because, again, non-for-profit, they're veterans themselves.
Who should we reach out to?
It's Kevin Keaveney, and I'll provide you the
Cool.
phone number
Great. Thank you, Mark.
after.
And for any vets who are listening.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's another resource for you, Vet to Vet.
Yes, Vet to Vet, and then if you look it up on Facebook, the Hudson Valley Center for Veterans Reintegration is on Facebook. So is their Vet to Vet, and we highly recommend what they're doing for the community, because again, it's just another resource that we have here now in Ulster to make sure our vets understand that they're not alone. They can connect with other vets. Nobody knows what a vet's going through.
That's right.
Like a vet.
Mm-hmm. And we're coming to 8:30, but if any of our listeners have any questions for Mark, our call-in number is 845-331-9255. And we are speaking with Mark Cozzupoli from...
We got a call.
Oh, we have a call.
Okay, you're on the air. Who's calling, please?
Good morning. This is George. I'm calling with two things. First of all, when the Veteran Service Agency talk to vets, they may want to talk to them about maybe joining the American Legion, or if they qualify for the VFW, because these two organizations also help with vets and everything else too.
Yes, George, thank you.
And they definitely could use younger members coming in, because a lot of our members getting up to mid-60s and over. And the second thing is, Mark, how is the progress going on the new veteran cemetery out in Newport? That you may want to inform people who qualifies for the veteran cemetery in Newport as well.
All right. Well, thanks, George. I actually can recognize the voice. George is one of our frequent flyers. So thank you for calling in. The veteran cemetery we have in Newport's Rural Cemetery. So we have a section right now that's veterans only. But the plan is to build a much larger section right across from where it is right now, and so we have like over 300 plot areas. It's going to be over 3,000.
Wow.
So that is a huge capital project that we're hoping to have started by next year and finished within like a year and a half after that. We've run into some environmental issues with it, but it's nothing that we can't get past. And it's in different phases of study right now, which is great. And it is definitely moving forward. And it's going to be a very, very professional, nice, pristine grounds that are worthy of our veterans.
That's right, worthy
Ulster
of
County.
That's awesome.
So
And
to be,
also, if I remember right, the spouses of
Yes.
the veterans may qualify to be in there.
That's right.
Next
So
to
it's
their spouses too.
Ulster County residents and their spouses can be buried for free there.
Wow.
Yes,
That's
the
excellent
county,
to know.
County covers the cost for the spouse and the veteran.
And what a great way to honor somebody that they can be together.
Yes.
In
Yes.
a resting place where
Yeah,
others
other
have
veterans
served.
all together, and again, as we grow the new area, it's going to be beautiful. But we're going to continue our focus on the current section too, and try to just build that up a little bit so those veterans have a nice, beautiful spot to a place, where family can come and reflect or visit with their loved ones.
Was there a bit of a groundbreaking or something a while back on that? I thought I saw maybe an announcement.
No, nothing yet.
Nothing yet, okay.
But the original section, I'm not sure even when that opened, but it's definitely come a long way. And there'll be a big event there on December 19th for Wreaths Across America, which they'll be. We're doing it at Newport's Rural Cemetery again this year, where every grave of a veteran gets a wreath.
Oh, wow. And we also have an amazing, at Ulster County, memorial for veterans.
Yes.
I think that's amazing that we did that and very well deserved. Great place that we can all visit. All right, well, that was our 2-minute warning. We get a 2-minute warning from Lawrence.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Okay, George, thank you. Okay, well, we have been speaking with Mark Capozzuli from the Ulster County Veterans Department, and it's our...
Well, it's Cozzupoli.
Cozzupoli. Well, sorry, say it again.
Cozzupoli.
Cozzupoli. What'd I do, reverse it?
That's a tough one.
Oh, I don't know.
It happens a lot.
It's quite interesting.
It's
I actually wrote it wrong. Well, that's how I...
Oh.
So I read it right and wrote it wrong. Sorry.
It's okay.
And it's been wonderful to meet you. I'd love to have you come back and learn more. You're still going to send us photos of the South Pole. We're going to post those on the Facebook page. Lawrence, you're going to have to click those through for me when I post them.
Absolutely.
Okay. 'Cause
I'm really interested to see what the South Pole looks like.
I would like to see our Mark from Veteran Services at the South Pole.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
I do. I'm standing right next to the magnetic pole. So.
That's crazy. And that's the other side of service. We thank our veterans for risking their lives and doing what they do to protect our country and our people. But also it's nice to know that our veterans also have an experience sometimes
Best thing that ever happened.
nobody else could ever have. Best thing that ever happened to you.
Other than marrying my
I was
wife
going to
and
say,
having my children.
Okay, we're going
to
to let them in.
Other than meeting your wife.
Yes,
there you go,
professionally.
professionally.
So because
Good
it
to know.
really is, it offers you so many different experiences and growth opportunities. And if you do it right, you can learn so much, grow so much, and experience so much. I mean, they paid for my master's degree. I have an MBA in management, all covered by the United States Air Force.
As it should be.
And set me up, beautifully where now I'm retired, but I was able to transition to another position that can help people. So
yeah. Thank you for what you're still doing.
Mark, it's been our honor to have you on the show this morning. We'd love to have you come back, and we will definitely look into vet to vet. Vet to vet. And we'll look forward to hopefully your community day, and a shout out to anybody listening that we should go to the community day. And I think we need to go to break.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
On top of first-class care, you will never receive a bill. The only thing we had to worry about was just keeping Azalea comfortable. St. Jude saved her life.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
A message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare.
There's pain that does not stop.
I feel trapped by migraine.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
I feel like I'm dying. You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. We are a global force for good. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. We can do more together than we can alone. Join in. Experience the joy of serving. Be part of the movement. Give back. Let's unite the world for good. We are Lions. You can be too. Visit weserve.org.
Central Hudson reminds you that summer thunderstorms can strike with strong, gusty winds, knocking down trees and power lines. If you see a downed power line, call 911 immediately to report it. Power lines can carry an electric current strong enough to cause injury or death. Stay at least 30 feet away from a fallen line. Don't try to move it or anything that has come in contact with it. And never drive over a power line. Remember, your safety matters.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? By shifting to a system that gives more patients access to strong primary care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
Hi, my name is Jackie Lovezzo. I'm from Lake Katrine, and I support the Kingston Community Radio because it is an invaluable resource to the community and its residents.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
Good morning. We are on the air, and this is Lorraine Salmon and
Fran DiPetrillo-Savoca.
And we are with Kingston Community Radio, and we're happy to have you with us, all you YouTubers that were watching. Hello. And we're going to kick off this last half hour with some events that are going on in Ulster County.
Yeah. What do you have, Lorraine?
So I've got the Batoween.
Oh.
The Batoween. Let's see. It's hosted by Mags Rags and is also held at the New Paltz Recycling Center, 3 Clearwater Road, New Paltz, and it's on October 31st from 1 to 3 p.m. This fun-filled celebration is part of Bat Conservation International's Bat Week. Batoween is part of many of these international events held from the 24th to the 31st to educate folks about the importance of bats in our environment. And again, here, it's going to be on October 31st from 1 to 3. The fact is we lost over 3 million of our little brown bat population here in Ulster County to power nose syndrome just a few short years ago. And we hope all together that we can build our bat population back again. There'll be bat crafts, bat education booths, haunted house, and a costume contest. Masks and social distancing, please, to all attendees, and costumes are encouraged. And again, that's a Batoween on October 31st from 1 to 3 p.m., and it's held at the New Paltz Recycling Center.
I think some of the bats are back, and they're in Port Ewan, because this summer I felt like I've never seen so many bats.
We got a caller.
Okay.
Okay, we have a caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. This is Batman calling. I'm just calling to tell you that I plan on going to Batoween.
Oh, you're going to Batoween. It's Tony Marmo. You're going to Batoween.
Yes.
Is that a warning to keep us away? Is that a warning to keep us away, or an invite that we should come?
No, my favorite pet. I don't know. That's not true. You two, you two sound great. I just want to call in to say that you're like big-time radio personalities now.
Oh, Tony's just saying that because he coerced us.
Yes.
No, well,
coercion.
It didn't take too much.
It's good to hear you.
Thank you.
Tony, I want to thank you for your contribution to our gala, to the Ulster Community College Foundation and gala last night.
Thank you. How did it go?
It's been a huge success so far. We're really thrilled. Great feedback, and we're coming around the bend where it looks like we're up over $80,000 already in sponsorship and contributions.
That's amazing.
In a very difficult year where people have already done so much. So huge.
Well, because people believe in your mission, and despite the pandemic, I'm seeing that in a couple of my organizations. The Ulster County Italian American Foundation raised a bunch of money, and no festival, and your event, the Boys and Girls Club, raised a lot of money. So people understand the difficulties, and those that have some means and businesses are going to continue to contribute to the great organizations in our community, like the SUNY Ulster Foundation. So I'm happy to make my small contribution. I was in Richmond, Massachusetts last night. So if people probably don't know where Richmond, Massachusetts is, it's right over the border from Chatham, at a Rotary meeting up there, and a very nice part of the country. But I'm seeing all of Hudson Valley in my travels as district governor, and it's quite enjoyable, actually. It was a great apple orchard, an apple farm. They had cider and wine. Wine. Of course, they have to have wine.
Wine. You hated that part.
Wine was good. So yeah, it was a great evening. I'm glad you did well. And Fran, you're doing well.
I'm doing great. Thank you, Tony.
Good. Keep up the great work, and thank you for supporting KCR, to both of you. And it's refreshing to hear your voice, and you're having some great guests on. So thank you.
Thank you. And Tony, congratulations on being district governor for Rotary. That's a really important designation and responsibility, and I know that you take it very seriously and very enthusiastically.
Yeah, thank you. I visited 49 out of the 55 clubs so far, and it's been really great, I have to say, because I'm with kindred spirit, folks that like to give back to the community, and my job is to recruit. Isn't that interesting? How that works?
Because we know you're not any good at that.
Right. Recruiting new Rotarians. So it's been a lot of fun, and thank you, and so all the best to you this weekend, to both of you, and enjoy and be safe.
Thanks. You too, Tony. I have one more shout out for you for the Rotaries. I just want to say on behalf of the Ulster Community College Foundation that the local Rotaries, Kingston Rotary, Highland Rotary, and New Paltz Rotary, all have sponsored President's Challenge scholarships to 8th grade students in Ulster County. It's a $7,200 commitment, and it sponsors a 2-year college education for would-be first and family 8th graders to go to college and graduate from college. It's an amazing program. We've gone from 6 students 4 years ago to 150 students in the program today. And the Rotary clubs, and you specifically, Tony, were amazing. Barbara Cohen, thanks for the intros. And you got us started and kind of started introducing the whole concept around with us. And I want to thank you because together with all the other donors, we really have moved mountains.
Great. And we have 2 more to get then in Ulster County. We have the, did you say New Paltz is in?
Yes, New Paltz is in.
Okay. So Southern Ulster, which is down in the Wallkill area, and then Phoenicia, which is, up north a little bit. So those are the 2 on the list. So you and I will make a little trip.
Great. I just wrote that down. So I will buy breakfast and be happy to do that.
Sounds good. Fran, is our Ulster County tourism in good shape?
We're in great shape, Tony.
Good. Okay, good. Keep it going. Despite the pandemic, we still have to do our best, right?
Yes, we are a drive market. We have plenty to offer in all 4 seasons regardless, so we are okay. Great. And look at the amazing job our restaurants have been doing of keeping everybody happy.
It's
Bravo.
Phenomenal. Really. It's so good. But they struggle with staff, trying to get staff, which is a whole nother rabbit hole conversation that we won't go down, but a lot of restaurants are struggling to get people to work there, so that's an issue. But
there's a lot of displaced workers in other areas too, though. So we have to make that. We're going to strive to make that connection happen.
Great. Thank you both so much for all you do for the community. And in the bigger context of not just KCR. That's, I know, one of your hats that you both wear. So thank you for that and everything else you do.
And you as well.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Have great. Be well.
Yeah,
Lorraine
you,
and Fran.
you
Take care.
too. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Always nice to hear from Tony Marmo.
Tony Marmo of Norman Staffing.
Yes. About knowing where the needs are for jobs in this area. That would be.
They do a great job for us in Ulster County, providing staffing. We definitely use them at the college, but I also want to send a shout out. They give back to the community a lot. Tony personally and the business in a very big way. So anyway, a big shout out to all our friends at Norman Staffing, and for all Tony does here for Kingston Community Radio. He is a very important.
He does quite a bit.
He's a real advocate.
He does fundraising. He does Happy Christmas Fund. He does scheduling. I mean, I don't know what I'd do without him.
Yeah, I know. If you don't answer his phone calls, he starts texting, and there is no getting away from Tony once you've been identified. Okay, we're going to do some more events.
Do you have?
I do. I have another one. It's the Rotary Club of Kingston is sponsoring a virtual Capital to Capital 5K run walk. It's October 11th to October 25th, so it is going on right now. Registration is still open via Zippyreg, ZIPPYREG.com. Participants should walk or run a 5K, 3.1 miles, that is, for those who needed the transcription of that, distance on a trail or park in their hometown or elsewhere anytime between the 11th and Sunday, the 25th. The Capital to Capital 5K commemorates the human story of the burning of Kingston, sad, which in October 1777, over 2,000 Kingston refugees fled to the town of Hurley as British soldiers burned their city to the ground. Participants who want to walk or run the route of the original refugees will be able to view a map of this route and register for the event at KingstonNYRotary.org. And there are some very small entry fees, which help support the entire event. And to receive an official finisher certificate, entrants must log their time on zippyreg.com no later than Monday, October 26th. For more information, call the fabulous, Richard didn't say fabulous here, I added that, Richard Catabiani at Catabiani, CATTABIANIR, at gmail.com. Richard is a wonderful community member and past staff at SUNY Ulster, so a known entity. But commemorating or remembering, memorializing the burning of Kingston, really, gosh, so sad. There's a photo here, and
So we normally have, Burning of Kingston every other year, and this is like a new initiative for the commemoration of the burning of Kingston. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something like that. I was down at one of the parks on the river in Saugerties, I think in Malden, and there's a plaque there about that they entered there. That some of the boats docked there to come in and
Interesting.
attack. Do you have another event?
I have events.
Okay.
Do you have another?
We're going to go to you, Fran. No, we're going to go to you for an event.
Well, tomorrow's Saturday in Kingston, and it's hopefully going to be beautiful out. So don't forget, there's still the outdoor Kingston Farmers Market in the Ulster County Courthouse parking lot. So that's very active and great. I don't know if you've been able to go this season, but it's fabulous. So lots of goodies at the Kingston Farmers Market uptown tomorrow. And then Sunday, don't forget, and this is one of the last 2 weekends, so the Kingston Waterfront Sunday Farmers Market. So that's downtown on the beautiful Rondout area. And so 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For Sunday, and 9 to 2 tomorrow at the Ulster County Courthouse parking lot. So both the farmers markets, don't forget those. This week, and I've been wanting to do this, so the YMCA and Bike Friendly Kingston are distributing bike bells and lights at the repair clinic. So you need a bell. I did not know this. New York state law requires a bell, horn, or other audible device on a bicycle, and I actually did not know that. And if you ride after dark, you need a set of front and rear lights. So the YMCA of Kingston and Ulster County and Bike Friendly Kingston will be distributing bells and lights at a bicycle repair clinic on Tuesday, October 20th. So come to the YMCA parking lot on Pine Grove Avenue in Kingston between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. to get a bell or a light or to have your bike checked over. Bike helmets will also be available. So no advanced registration, and if it rains on October 20th, they're holding it on October 21st.
Awesome.
Yes. And so let's see. So, and as I mentioned earlier, Hudson River Cruises
Yes, tell
still
us
going
about that.
through the month of October. So go to hudsonrivercruises.com and you can find out whether you do the 2:30 to 4:30 sightseeing cruise. They have various different options this year. So check out Hudson River Cruises on the Rip Van Winkle 2. It's now a 3-story boat, and there is an enclosed section, so I think maybe they'll be able to go a little further into the season. I actually think they might go into November this year instead of ending at the end of October. So check out Hudson River Cruises. I also just wanted to give a shout out to the Ulster County SPCA. They've been doing such amazing things, and to all the people and organizations that have been sponsoring adoptions for the animals. So for some folks that have the time and the love and the home to give an animal, but maybe don't have the adoption fee, there's been some great opportunities. So check out Ulster County SPCA on Facebook or online, Ulster County SPCA. And we are currently, my husband and I, fostering a dog.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Everybody thinks we're going to be a foster fail, and I didn't know what a foster fail was.
I don't.
So foster fail because we're purposely taking on this dog. She's absolutely a love, absolutely adorable, but she needed just a little fine-tuning to be house ready, to be, adoptable. And so our goal was to work with her so that she's ready to be adopted. So we took her on. She's absolutely fabulous. We've only had her for a couple of days. And so everybody thinks we're going to be a foster fail. So we thought that meant we wouldn't be able to get her ready. That means that we're going to fall in love.
You're going to fall in love.
She's no longer going to be a foster. She's going to be part of the house. So everybody has bets that we are going to be a foster fail, but her name is Lucy. She's on the Ulster County SPCA website, and I do hesitate to almost say that because we are falling in love with her. But yeah, they have so many incredible animals, so if anybody has the time and the love to give an animal, please go to the SPCA and adopt. So
yes, and I think I've read some reports that say as we get older, folks who have pets
live longer.
Yeah.
So I have read that as well.
Right?
I know.
It's not an official report, but I'm pretty sure that's what the
what they give
say.
Back
Yes,
to the adoptee.
They warm your heart. They warm your heart every day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, and they're just there waiting for homes, a real home. You know, we're just so glad she can be like loving the couch and doing her own thing and the one-on-one attention while she's waiting for her permanent home. So.
And if you can't adopt a pet right now and you have the ability to consider a donation to the ASPCA, you can help that organization.
Absolutely.
Ready these wonderful animals and pets for other people. So
donations or fostering or volunteering if you can't adopt. Yeah.
I love that you're fostering.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that because I don't know if...
I know. I don't know what's going to happen. But I feel like we're just going to be so excited for her when she's really ready. And, that I know the SPCA is very careful in vetting
We're gonna find out next month.
I
Because
know.
when we are back on again next month, I'm going to find out where Lucy is residing.
Lucy? Yep.
Where's Lucy?
Yep, we'll find out next month.
Okay, so we are at 8:50, and we have a little while longer to be with you.
If anybody has questions, comments, or suggestions of future guests, please call us at 331-9255. We are taking your suggestions seriously, and we love to hear from you. So please let us know who you would like to hear from, and we'll try to make that happen for you.
We had some terrific guests today, so it was great to hear
Gretchen
about
Reed
that.
from Mohank Preserve, Mark Cozzupoli from Ulster County Veterans Services.
I learned so much about, imagine our world that we live in, right? We learned about the Mohonk Preserve and 8,000 acres and 300,000 guests a year. And then we found out that Mark went to the South Pole. Reminder, I'm going to get he's sending me some photos of him at the South Pole. So we'll post those on the Facebook page. That's really, I don't know why, I just find that
The
so
South Pole.
interesting, the South Pole.
Yeah, we're going to get those pictures up. Well, you are, because you're good
Yes,
at that.
I am. And so everybody, we're hoping you're going to have a terrific weekend. It looks like it's going to be a rainy day today, but we always, water's important to the planet. So yesterday, how about yesterday?
Yesterday's weather was absolutely.
Yeah.
I walked around uptown for like a couple hours just because it was just so nice with the leaves and everything. It was really nice yesterday.
Yeah, and it was October 15th because it was our gala night. But the day was really calling. I mean, I had the windows open and
It was a nice breeze.
You could go for a hike
I
without
haven't
even a
left them
sweatshirt
open last
yesterday.
night. It was only got down to I think it was 52 last night. So
Yeah, I had the
That's
windows
not
open.
bad. That's good sleeping weather.
It is good sleeping weather.
And if it isn't nice weather, please go to our website, ulstercountyalive.com. There's a calendar with all kinds of events. Like I mentioned, the YMCA bike, bring your bike, or the farmers markets. We also have all of the farms listed for farm stand shopping and for U-Picks. But there's also virtual events and also indoor things that are able to happen, like the Lockwood Gallery has Jim Hole particle point collisions on display. So there's galleries, there's things happening. And if it's not happening in person, they're happening virtually. So if you go to ulstercountyalive.com, click on our calendar and see what there is to do.
Great, and that's our 2-minute warning. And also, you can click on the buttons for your local restaurants and eateries.
Yes.
There.
And there's a whole map that'll take you to where you want to search out your food from on our homepage. And it'll tell you what they're doing as far as dine in, dine out, take out, delivery. There's plenty of options.
There are. So it's terrific that we have you. Thank you for your service to the county and tourism.
Thank you.
We appreciate having you there. And I think we can close out the morning. I'd just like to send a shout out to all of our honorees and awardees at the Ulster Community College Foundation and Gala, which happened online last night. You can still play the gala, so to speak, by going to www.sunyulster.edu/gala. And there are great videos there for you to see our fabulous honorees, Kathleen Clunan. Many of you know her. Give her a shout out when you see her. Mary Stuart Masterson, the actress and director, and her husband, Jeremy Davidson, who have come to the college and served us there by putting on a performance with our students. And we also had the hashtag Be Like Anita, who is Anita Williams Peck, in memory of Anita, and that was given to Tim and Laurel Sweeney. And then we had our other awards to Dr. Mindy Cole, who is at SUNY Ulster and who was responsible for the New Start for Women program. And then, of course, last but not least, the fabulous Jennifer and Peter Buffett, local community members, fortunate for us, and co-presidents of the Novo Foundation. They were honored with an award from SUNY Ulster. And all of their videos are online at www.sunyulster.edu/gala. And with that, we are going to be going off the air. We wanted to thank you for being here with us this morning. This is Lorraine Salmon.
And Fran Petrillo-Savoca.
Until we meet again, thank you.
Thank you for sharing the morning with us and participating in Kingston Community Radio, KCR.